It's time we talked about Jaden Hardy. At the end of December, leading into January, Jaden Hardy was one of the league's best three-point shooters. Looked like he really turned a corner in his progression and his development and looked like a solid piece for the Dallas Mavericks. Everybody, myself included, thought we finally unlocked the best parts of Jaden Hardy's game, and he was on a pretty good stretch of games while we were dealing with injuries. Jaden Hardy was one of our more reliable scorers, and then he went down with an injury, came back from that injury, and now he looks just like the same Jaden Hardy. Whereas in the last game before the All-Star break against the Miami Heat, Jaden Hardy was one of the worst players on the floor when we were missing darn near half the whole roster. So in this video, we're going to take a look at what happened to Jaden Hardy, how well was he playing, how well is he playing now, and are there other players that deserve a spot over him? But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, we're currently sitting at 19,821 subscribers, getting very, very close to 20K. But if you're enjoying everything that we're doing here at Mavs Digest, with our watch-alongs, our news vids, our giveaways, and everything else in between, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a single thing that we do. But in the curious case of Jaden Hardy party, it seems like the party may be coming to an end. Jaden Hardy being one of our younger players, our younger guard, who is sometimes asked to run as a point guard when his true position is a shooting guard. He doesn't necessarily have the basketball IQ to be a playmaker. He doesn't necessarily have the averages, the efficiency to actually be a good scoring two guard. He's more so in the middle. Whereas some games, yeah, he'll make a few good passes, followed up by some very bad turnovers and poor defense. In some games, he'll be on an absolute heater, able to drop 15 plus points, shoot very well from three. And then some games, he just doesn't stop shooting. He just looks just like Jaden Hardy from last year. The player that everybody wants to see improve and do better, but is falling short month over month as time goes on. If we take a look at how well Jaden Hardy was playing, for January, in the entire month of January, the best three-point percentage in the league. At one point, Jaden Hardy was number 1. He did fall a little bit. He was missing games, but he is right there at number 5 at 50% from 3 for the month of January. Now, like I said, he did have to miss time dealing with injuries. One of our very many players dealing with injuries, but still, for the month of January, he was shooting very well. He also had some very big games, just like in January. He had a game where he had 25 points, shot 5 of 9 from the three-point line, and that was his 4th straight 15-point or more game. By all means, Jaden Hardy is not a bad player. It really did look like he was turning a corner. He started to put things together. The game was slowing down for him. And if we take a look at his stats for the season, Jaden Hardy is averaging 7.9 points, 1.6 rebounds, 1.4 assists, 0.1 blocks, 0.5 steals, 1.4 turnovers, and 1.5 fouls per game, while shooting 42% from the floor and 37% from 3. And a few things right here I like, a few things I don't like. Now, obviously, shooting 42% from the floor and 37% from 3, that's very good. He's still a young player. He's only 22, still growing. He's in his 3rd year. Those are good percentages if it were a bigger sample size, because he's only averaging 7 points per game. He is a guard. He's a 6'4" guard, but he's only averaging 1.4 assists per game. He's also averaging 1.4 turnovers per game. So his assist to turnover ratio is right there, a 1-to-1 ratio, which isn't something that you want as your point guard. But then as a 2 guard, we've seen Jaden Hardy go on absolute burners. And then we've seen him just drop a bunch of goose eggs. If we take a look right here, Jaden Hardy, right before his injury, he had, 27 minutes against the Cavaliers. He had 21 points, shot 8 of 19, 3 of 12 from 3. Not the best from 3, not the best from the floor, but he still finished with 21 points, having 3 rebounds and 2 assists. Fast forward, he missed about 3 games due to injury. In his first game back against the Kings, he played 9 minutes, 4 points, 2 of 3 from the floor, 0-1 from 3. Okay, your first game back, slowly get into it. But the next game against the Warriors, which we did win, that was a huge game for us. He only played 5 minutes and he had 0 points and didn't even take a single shot. And then against the Heat, the last game before the All-Star break, where the Heat were missing some key players, but they still had Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Kelly Ware, and we were missing a lot more players. We had none of our starters. We had some of our bench guys out. We literally could not afford another injury or another missing player. And you would think, Jaden Hardy, you're in your 3rd year. You spent a year before coming to the NBA playing the G League. You should have all the experience. You've been playing alongside Kyrie, playing alongside Luka. You got Jason Kidd as your head coach. You made it to the finals last year. Jaden Hardy, this should be an easy game for you to go out there and just show them what you got. And unfortunately, that's not what happened. Just to pull the stats back up. Against the Heat, he had 19 minutes. Now, we all know Jason Kidd loves to pull Jaden Hardy out whenever he makes a mistake. He doesn't let Jaden Hardy play through those mistakes, and that's something that I've always harped on. However, when things look like this, in 19 minutes, he had 2 points, was 0 of 8 from the floor, 0 of 4 from 3. Yeah, he had 5 rebounds. Yeah, he had 3 assists. He was a +4 in the box. So there were some things about Jaden Hardy's game that was good. But going 0 of 8 from the floor, 0 of 4 from 3 in a game where you can get as many shots as you want. Max Christie took the most shots that night. But Jaden Hardy, you're out there. A lot of these guys get way less minutes than you. A lot of these guys are two-way players and G League guys. You should be standing out in your third year. If we take a look right here, in that game, Omax had 10 points, 1 steal, 3 rebounds. Kessler Edwards, again, on a two-way contract, had 15 points after going a long stretch of games without scoring not once, had 15 points, 3 assists, and 9 rebounds. And then you've got Max Christie, who's obviously been in the league a little bit longer than Omax and Kessler Edwards. He has experience. He has 19 points, 1 block, 3 steals, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Najee Marshall doing his thing. Even Kyler Kelly scored. He had 4 points. But for whatever reason, Jaden Hardy in 19 minutes could only put up 2 points, and that was going to the free throw line, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. But right above him, his name, right there above his name, is Brandon Williams, who in that game had 25 minutes, had 11 points. He did have 3 turnovers. He did have 3 assists, as well as 1 rebound, shooting 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 of 4 from 3, and 4 of 7 from the floor. And Brandon Williams is a player that a lot of Mavericks fans are starting to think maybe he should take Jaden Hardy's spot. Maybe he's that deep bench backup guard that we can rely on, as he looks like he's a little bit further along than Jaden Hardy. Right now, Brandon Williams is on a 2-way contract. He is spending time in the G League. However, all last year, he spent a lot of time with Kyrie Irving working on his game. And I've been to many of the Texas Legends game this season, and I can tell you firsthand, Brandon Williams is probably the best player on that team, if not the best player. Anytime he's in the G League, he's dropping 37-point triple-doubles like it's nothing. And obviously, there's a big skill gap between the G League and the NBA. So maybe that's why we really haven't seen Brandon Williams really pop off. But in small little instances, we've seen Brandon Williams look better than Jaden Hardy. If we take a look right here, we do have an easier schedule. So if we take a look at the rest of our schedule, we are ninth. We are ninth in the league as far as the strength of schedule. So we will have an easier stretch of games. So if we can endure Jaden Hardy and whatever he's doing, maybe we can play more of Brandon Williams. Things won't look so bad for us. Obviously, with all these injuries, guys are going to get more minutes. Kessler Edwards will continue to get minutes. Maybe we'll see Kyler Kelly, but also Jaden Hardy, hopefully, as well as Brandon Williams, will get more minutes, as these games should be a little bit easier, and we do have injuries. But what I want to show you right here, but yes, I'm sorry, just going back to the box score, that game, you got Brandon Williams is really just outperforming Jaden Hardy by every single metric. And it's really hard to tell what are we going to do with Jaden Hardy. In a video that I had not too long ago, I said Nico Harrison has an impossible decision to make. I was highlighting how Jaden Hardy turned a corner. Jaden Hardy just signed a contract extension before the start of the season, and it looked like he was really becoming into his own. And maybe Nico Harrison, at the time, I thought maybe Nico Harrison would think, okay, you got a lot of value. I'll trade you while your value is high. You can go to a team where you can get the minutes and get the ability to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. Or we just go all in with Jaden Hardy. We trust that this is really who he is now. Unfortunately, we were fooled. So maybe Nico Harrison has another tough decision to make over the summer on whether or not you keep Jaden Hardy or you trade Jaden Hardy. I think a lot of fans at this point would rather trade him away, put him in a package with Caleb Martin or anybody else, try to get someone else, and give Brandon Williams Jaden Hardy's minutes. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think that Brandon Williams is ready? Do you think that he can easily replace Jaden Hardy in our lineup? Or do you think this Hardy party keeps going on? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We can have a conversation about it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for being far to the video. Make sure you check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing a giveaway every single month on this channel. Only way to enter our giveaways is to become a channel member of any tier. But till next time, y'all take care. Drink water. Peace.